A handful of Formula One crazy guys founded the L2S community 22 weeks ago, and this is it. The last race, the final race of our first season. The last time we are racing here together, at least for this ongoing first season. And with all that, welcome to Abu Dhabi. Welcome to race number 22 to settle the last questions that are still ongoing in this first season. First of all, a short look at the assists, rules and track we race here tonight. So we race with a 80 minutes qualifying followed by a 50% race distance. I think it was 28 to 29 laps in Tier 2 just an hour ago. Full full safety car, VSC flags and rules installed. We see dynamic weather, but that is not a topic in Abu Dhabi. Strict corner cutting that can turn into a issue, and this is the track we race on. It is ruled as easy. Well, I would not say so. It has a very tricky third sector to watch out with these many narrow and technical turns there. Track is 5.5 kilometers of length, has 21 turns, and the lap record from Lewis Hamilton from 2019, 139.2, was topped by almost 6 seconds in the qualifying of our Tier 2. Pole setter was SimV with a 133.3. So that already has a little bit of pressure for our Tier 1 drivers. We expect the Tier 1 of course to be a bit faster than Tier 2. We will see that in just a few moments. The assists we use: traction control maximally to medium. Gearbox has to be manual. Pit assist is on. You do not have to worry when coming into the pits, but that is not a big issue in Abu Dhabi. It's actually easier to miss the pit entry except to be too fast in the pit lane. Let's have a look about our lobby. Our host is once again Dean Cunha. Hello and good evening to you. Ian is there, one of our Tier 2 commentators. The scientist is here, our number 3 finisher in our overall standings, who sadly will wave goodbye to L2S tonight. His last race with us sadly tonight. Official, who is already set as our first champion. He is 26 points ahead of Slayer, so no, even 27 points, so Slayer is unable to attack or overtake him. Whatever happens tonight, Official is the official champion. Slayer then stuck in second. Then the John Bunter, Chris Tam and Would You Rather are those two guys who got promoted up from Tier 2 into Tier 1. So they are pretty good, really good. So good results for both of them in the last weeks in Tier 1 too. So all you Tier 2 guys, your good results are being seen. That's me. Hello, Infamous, second commentator of Tier 2. Mark Ainley finishes the lobby for the moment. We have 18 drivers. 2 are still missing. I think we should have 1 or 2 reserves for tonight. So we still have a few moments of time. And there is still a lot of stuff to talk about, a lot of things to have an eye on, because the L2S community grows. We will have a new season that is already scheduled, that's already final, and the new season will start right next week. So there is no break between the seasons. We had a rather long Christmas New Year break, so we do not need or do not want to have a longer break between Season 1 and Season 2. Season 2 will start right next Thursday evening, February the 11th, I think it is. And Season 2 and Season 3 will be short seasons, meaning we will have 2 half seasons. Each season has 11 races, and then this will equal a long season of 22 races. And we do this because we expect the new game to be released, and we do not want to collide with the new game in case it's released a little bit earlier or maybe a bit later than last year. We still have a few options to shorten or maybe prolong the seasons, so all of that is just as we don't know yet about the release. There will be probably a little bit of a break between Season 1 and between the games of 20 and 21, so that everyone has a chance to jump onto the new game and get acquainted with all the new stuff a bit. And yeah, likewise we have a Formula 2 season that has just ended too, and Formula 2 is always broadcasted to you on Tuesday evenings. I just have a look into our Discord group. So we are still waiting for 2 drivers, so we still have a minute or two, I think, to have a look at our Formula 2 championship. And yeah, that was won by Official likewise. So Official is officially fast, sorry for the pun, and just racing away from everyone, no matter if it's Formula 1 or Formula 2. Yeah, the L2S community is growing. We have a new guy in Peter W, our so-called grid organizer. That's already a big sign for things to come, for more to come into the L2S community. We have a new community race that's airing every Sunday evening. We already had 2. We are about to see community race number 3 just in a few days. Further, we are in consideration of having something like a classic car race series, maybe a wheel only league that is in consideration too. So there's a lot of stuff to come in for the next weeks, months and seasons. And yeah, Royal Harvey has just joined. There should still be one more guy that is left. So, well, I suppose that we will be off to Abu Dhabi in just a bit, and I will step aside for a moment and be with you again as soon as the qualifying begins. And off we go to the Yas Marina circuit here in Abu Dhabi, middle of the desert, a racetrack around this great hotel you can see here on the left hand side. Funny side fact, my girlfriend already was there. My girlfriend already had a step onto the track. I sadly did not. But okay, something I might be able to achieve in the future. And we are full now. The 20th guy we have been waiting for is Mr. H. Chapman. Chapman, that's actually Chappy, one of our admins, who has had some PlayStation Network troubles logging into his Prime account, and so this is his backup, so to speak. So hello Mr. Chappy Chapman and welcome. And off we go. So qualifying has started and fair weather, of course, just as actually always in Abu Dhabi. I've never seen a rainy session here. Would be interesting. Interesting to have this at least once, to just try it for a open lobby or something. But okay, first minute almost done, and no one has gone to the track yet. I can hear an engine being fired. Gives me a bit of time to get in all the informations. Aha, there has been a black-green car. That is the first one on Outlap. This is not a black-green first, because we are here with our golden pickle. So, just as always, a little bit of a tradition of mine. The first one who goes out in quali, we will ride on board a bit with, to get a feel for the track, so that I can tell you something about it in case you don't know the track details yet. Yeah, at the moment I am crossing my fingers not to have technical difficulties again. These last weeks have not been the best actually for online races and the lobbies. Either some game bugs, server malfunctions, or if all that worked, I had technical issues. Just by yesterday I had again some issue with my voice being crippled over the session, so I hope this is not going to happen here tonight again. If it does, already sorry in advance, and if there's someone out there watching me, I'd be very happy if you could give me some hint, some advice what I could do to get rid of this. And yes, here we go on the first hot lap for the golden pickle. The start finish straight is not a long one of the shortest of the whole season. The first sector is a sector with fast paced turns being taken almost full throttle. 16.9 is a good time. First sector is actually a sector where you cannot win a lot, you can win nothing, you can just lose your lap there, you could say. And then this monstrously long straight, one big DRS zone into a very narrow chicane. You can see track limits will be an issue. You can run wide almost everywhere. Second DRS zone here. That is actually a little bit of a left bow. And again, more or less narrow chicane, double chicane with a lot of possibilities to run wide. And now the technical last sector, the turn where Nico Rosberg had a big accident right here in 2012. The turns get narrower and narrower, slower and slower in these phases, in this section. And then 2 right-handers left, and this is Golden Pickle's first hot lap, being a 1:34.0. That's actually not a bad one. Already blasting real life times by about 5 seconds. Mark Ainley tried his first hot lap on mediums. 1.7 seconds behind the Pickle. By the way, we use unique car liveries, so in case you are a Ferrari, McLaren, Williams fan or whatever, please do not search for your favorite team. And the first times coming in, Nick Agnola, now the new pole setter, 2.5 tenths faster than the Pickle. Chris Tam in third, there he is. Chris Tam has been something like the pole position king in our Tier 2. And he is always in the consideration for some hot pole times in Tier 1 likewise. Official in fourth. Our champion in his black-green livery. Would you rather behind him? John Bunter, Chappie trying mediums too. So there are a few guys who tried mediums or are trying on mediums right now. But I think the times they have posted are not really competitive. So in our chat box we have Hamza and Simvi. Simvi, congratulations to your pole position time just an hour ago or two. Let's see how our Tier 1 guys can beat you, maybe or maybe not. We will see. Nick Agnola right now, the pole setter, who is still 3 or 4 tenths away from the time Zimvi has posted. So let's have a look at some guys who are on hot laps. That is not Royal Derby, but maybe our scientist already is at the end of Sector 1 on the long straight of Sector 2 on his goodbye tour for the L2S community. Always sad to have guys leaving, especially if they are fast like he is. Number 3 in our overall standings. But okay, that is sadly necessary to have spots available for the fastest Tier 2 drivers. So he maybe is a little bit traffic bugged. No, Aces versus Kings went away into off track. Where will the scientist finish his first hot lap in his totally blue livery? He is into P7. Not the best time I'm sure he is able to post. He is 1.1 seconds behind Nick Agnola, just barely ahead of the first medium driver. And Nick Agnola is on an outlap again, so Nick Agnola already on his way to his second shot, while we still see 6 drivers who did not post a time yet at all. Maybe right now coming on in from Casto, France. Sector 1, his time is a 17.0. That's something like average. Very nicely, smoothly taken. The hairpin, turn 7. Yeah, while we watch Casto France posting his first hard lap, let's have a short look about the still ongoing battles in our overall standings. We see Official as the king already, Slayer cemented in second, likewise Scientist in third, but there is still a battle for the fourth position. Fourth at the moment taken by Infamous, who is, where is he? P12 in this quali. And he is battling against no one else but Nick Agnola, the pole setter at the moment. Nick is 13 points behind Infamous, so maybe, let's see if Nick can attack him. He needs 13 plus points compared to Infamous, and a pole position would be a good start for that. Further, we see a battle for 8th. That's Ian against Aces. Ian has 72 points, Aces 69. So Aces just 3 points away from Ian. So both our T2 drivers, T2 commentators are under pressure from drivers behind. Ian at the moment, where is he? Sitting in 10th, while Aces versus Kings in P13, but didn't try softs yet. Aces versus Kings, the one I accidentally called Vikings week in, week out for sadly a very long time. I'm still a bit sorry about that. And we see another midfield battle. P12, P13, 14, 15, all these guys at Chappie, Frenzy, Casto France and Chris Tam. All those very close together, those 4 guys within 5 points. So there could be a lot of up and down until the season is finally over. So 6.5 minutes left. Let's have a look. Royal Harvey finally got a time in on softs, and there it is. Our our pole position king Chris Tom posted a pole time that was just blasted by the Pickle. So a battle for pole between Pickle and Chris Tom, pushing Nick Agnola even back into 4th as he was overtaken from Royal Harvey just shortly before I started to mention Tom and Pickle. Casto France is out. Didn't catch that, if he just retired in the pits or if he maybe crashed his car. So still no time set from Ballox, but he is on a hot lap here right now. Let's stay with him maybe for a moment. And then we see another one without a time, that's Frenzy. Oh, Official is out too. Oh, and Official has crashed. I think until we reach that spot the car will be vanished, but Official is out. Official maximally in P7, maximally. So, and here the last few turns for Bellox, a left-hander, and 2 right-handers left. Oh, he has aborted his hot lap, freeing the track for Would You Rather, who is turning into the pits. So Bellox threw away his hot lap for nothing, will stay in more or less the last position, but maybe he has enough of gasoline with him to just try again, because if not, it will be really hard for him to still be able to post a lap as we are about to hit the 4 minutes mark. Yeah, he is still fast. He is still on our hot lap, improving himself by 1/10. We will have one eye on him, where he will land in the end, just ahead. Moshetit, who has crashed, and we have been live with him when he, yeah, pinned his black-red car right into the wall at, where is it? The end. Just one turn was left, so he lost his car on acceleration in turn 20, causing some yellow, and I think that he's standing there pretty awkwardly. Cannot have a look at him anymore. Here we are again with Ballox, so as we already jumped to him, let's have a look where his second hot lap will bring him. So the position where Moshetit crashed his car is right here, no, right here. Track marshals already got rid of his wrecked car, good job. And, uh-oh, Ballox, did he brake? Did he really brake just before the timing line? Seems like he doesn't want to have a good lap. Seems like he wants to challenge himself more and more to start from the last starting row. Okay, why not? That's something like a unique challenge for him in the last season's race. No time yet from Frenzy. It seems like he will not go out for this quali. So here we are already in the last 2 minutes, and the pole fight is on. We see Nick. Can he reacquire the pole position? He is already on his hot lap. I think hot lap try number 3 for him. Didn't see the time of sector 1, but sector 2, the end of sector 2 is coming up right here. Where will the time stop for him? He is not improving himself. Not a lot missing, but he is not on an improvement at the moment. I think Landabot was on a out lap 2, but he is ruled now to be in the pits. Nick Agnola has finished. Nick Agnola is out maximally in 4th. What is Would You Rather doing? Oh, Would You Rather... Oh no, wasn't on a official lap yet. So let's have an eye on him. Likewise to Slayer. Maybe let's stay with Slayer in his half and half library here. Something like Two-Face. He is already in the last sector. Let's see where the time will bring him, and then we will have a look what all the other guys around him are doing. And the time will stop at a 1:33.8. That's a good one. Improving himself by 2.5 tenths, giving him P5. What's going on ahead? Chris Tam. Chris Tam, where is he? In sector 2. Golden Pickle is in sector 2. But Chris Tam a little bit ahead. And he invalidated his lap time. He is out of this pole race. Harvey is still at the beginning, so let's stay with Golden Pickle here at the moment. No improvement for him at the end of sector 1, but this was very close. Sector 1, I mentioned it, you cannot win a lot there. He is level to his time, but he does not need to improve if the others are unable to attack him. Royal Harvey has improved by half a tenth in the first sector. That would maybe be enough to attack Chris Tam, but not the pole. Here at the end of sector 2. He found 3/10. His time is purple. Best sector 2 time we have seen here tonight. With those 3/10, he would push into the pole position. Can he defend it? Can he make it happen here in the last sector? Don't lose your nerves right here, Royal Harvey. And he will finish in pole position for Royal Harvey, 133.1. Wow, congratulations to him. The only one of our Tier 1 who was able to be faster than Simwi in Tier 2. Sim Verdi, I hope you are still with us watching the stream. Only one has been able to beat you. Very interesting that we have Royal Harvey, Golden Pickle, Chris Tam, Would You Rather, all those guys out of our own Tier 2 who are now showing the other drivers from Tier 1 how to qualifying in Abu Dhabi. First 2 rows are all more or less new guys in our league. Yeah, and the season, the session has now officially ended. And again, congratulations to our pole setter, Royal Harvey. Here's the final result of our qualifying. Royal Harvey, then we see Golden Pickle, Chris Tam in 3rd, Would You Rather in 4th, Infamous in 5, good lap for him. P6 Nick Agnola, P7 Slayer, P8 Landebot, 9 is official, 10th is to Ian. P11 Casto France, P12 John Bunter, 13 for Dean Cunha only, 14 Chappie, 15 Aces vs Kings, 16 only for our scientist, 17 is Mark Ainley, 18 Moshatit, 19 Bellox, and no time set from Frenzy. So our drivers now have approximately 30 seconds of time to change some minor things around the setup and get their each strategy going. And until we start the race, I will step aside for a bit and will be back with you in just a moment. So the session timer has ticked down. We do not have an installation lap, so we are right into the action. Our last Grand Prix is on. Good start from Harvey and Golden Pickle, but Pickle on the battle lane here in turn 1. He attacks him, but has to stay behind and is now thrown into an attack from Chris Tam. Chris Tam or Pickle, who's in second. Wheel-to-wheel battle for multiple turns, and we have an early safety car. We have 3 guys out. Wow, 3 guys out. I sadly cannot jump to them anymore. We see a very slow Would You Rather and probably Mark Ainley. Yes, it is. We have seen an accident from Ian, Chappie, and the not Viking, the Aces versus Kings. So it's a bit sad. We have a yellow car. Who's the yellow car? They're very far behind. Probably a safety car. Yes, so the race has ended. The season has ended a bit too early for 3 guys already in right? The first lap. Who gives me a bit of time to get some things sorted out, some information in. Let's have a look at the tires first. So we see, oh, have a look at that. We see the scientist who started on hards. Very interesting. Dean Cunha, Castor France, Frenzy, Banta, Ainley, all of them on mediums. And the rest is on softs. First top 8 on softs. Bellox from behind, Moshatit on soft tires, and the first one to pit is Royal Harvey. The pole setter pits right in the first lap. We had a similar situation in Tier 2, where we had a safety car in the first lap too. But I think, if I remember right, no one pitted who did not really have to pit. While we see the second time the tire strategy presented by the Amazon Web Services. Our second, a two-stop race sounds pretty reasonable, but actually only if there is enough of safety car action. Would you rather was into, we have seen him running without a nose, so he needed that. Castor France, John Banta, Mark Ainley. Yeah, Ainley was in last position anyway. He has the little bit of advantage now that he can close up to the rest of the field. We have now 2 drivers running hard. That's Scientist and Banta. Let's see how long they can and will go on this set. So, where is our leader? Chris Tam, there he is. Actual leader is Bernd Mailänder, of course, but Chris Tam, first one in. The lights are still blinking, so the safety car will stay out on track one more lap, as the field is not intact. You can see the colored dots on the minimap, so there are still a few chasing behind the field. Yeah, interesting. It is very interesting that we have different approaches to this comparable situation. As I mentioned, we had just the same early safety car in Tier 2, and no one pitted that didn't have to. In case we have some Tier 2 drivers watching, please correct me in the chat box if I am wrong. But I think that no one came into the pits who didn't have to get himself a new nose. And yeah, well, actually, one-stop race from red to white, from soft to hard tires is more or less not possible. The tires, the track just goes too hard on tires to make that possible. But if we have a bit of safety car right here, maybe a bit of safety car later, where you can preserve the tires a little bit longer, maybe it could turn into some strategic possibility then. Let's have a look as we have a moment to see who everyone started. Biggest loser, of course, Royal Harvey with -11, but he had this early stop, of course. Then we have Chris Tam jumping ahead by 2 positions because Royal Harvey and Would You Rather both pitted. Another big loser was Infamous, losing 8. Has he pitted too? Yes, he did. Infamous was in 2. Biggest winner of the start is probably Frenzy, +11. Scientist, +8 too. Scientist, I think, is the one running on hards, isn't he? Yes, he is. So the lights of safety car should stop flashing here. Yes, it is. Safety car is in this lap. So everyone is weaving now and warming up his tires. We've seen one driver crashing into the walls while warming up his tires in the safety car phase. So the walls are near. Don't weave too much. And Christam is already giving the pace here for the field. Bernd Mailänder ahead is leaving. Christam takes a bit of gap to the safety car, and to one certain time, all of a sudden, he will pick up the pace and try to run away from Golden Pickle and the rest of the pack. Still not yet. Now he did. Now he did. We are back to green racing condition, and penalty from Harvey. And would you rather, I think, for touching each other under safety car conditions. In front, Christam ran away from Golden Pickle. No attack possible for him there. And in the background, everything went rather smoothly on the restart. Would you rather drop to last position? So he obviously had some kind of problem on the start. Oh, have a look how close Nick Agnola got on the main straight on Golden Pickle. No DRS, of course. We still have to wait one more lap for that. And it seems like his setup is definitely better on top speed. Then that would mean that Golden Pickle might pull away in these technical turns here a little bit. Let's have a look about those two guys if this assumption is correct. Golden Pickle always with a little bit of a locked tire here and there, so he is on his limit. He is really racing his car. Yeah, and after these turns there is a gap of 8 point something tenth. 8.5, maybe 9 soon, so it seems like Golden Pickle is faster in the turns but slower on the mains or on the big straights. A little bit of yellow, maybe box that was dropped down a position. We see 3 drivers in the pit lane. Let's jump to him for a moment. We see Would You Rather. Another stop for him. Another Nuno's. Moshetit likewise, and Ballogs. That's bad at the moment. They are trailing the field now by a big gap. And as if there is no safety car again, they will be far behind. And back to the front. This is the view of Slayer, just 4/10 behind Nick Agnola. And right behind him, Official, who beat him in the championship battle. Official was considering to leave the L2S community, likewise 2 scientists, but in the end, as far as I am informed, he changed his mind and will stay with us for another season. I hope that this is correct. I hope that you will stay with us, mate. While we see a pit stop by Landobot. Oh, and a big crash in the background. Wow, what happened there? Is it Slayer? Is this Slayer? No, this is Slayer. Who was it? Wasn't Official. Was it Nick Agnola? Nick Agnola, who caused another safety car phase. Nick Agnola crawling over the track with no front wing. He lost his front wing entirely, and I can tell you, oh no, and now he's given up. Oh, he has totally given up now. damage on his car was just too big. Broken suspension, maybe, that he just found out after the hairpin. So Nick Agnola is out and finishes his season just 22 laps too early. Yeah, and I can truly hear the sigh of relief by Infamous. Infamous sitting in 8th now, and Nick Agnola is out, so he is safe for his 4th position. Nick Agnola would have been able to attack him, would have gotten a lot more points than Infamous would right now. But now we have the first 4 positions being safe for each one, while we see now another pit stop series. A lot of stops will come in here. Tom going for mediums. Who else? Slayer on mediums. Chris Tam Golden Pickle mediums. Official fresh mediums. Royal Harvey is in. Is Royal Harvey in again? Oi. Already the 2nd stop in lap 7 for our formerly pole setter. He has opted for fresh hearts, so he will try to run through. Frenzy, fresh mediums. Bellox, fresh mediums. Would You Rather is in again. Morshated, fresh hearts. A lot of pit stop action. Slayer, Official, Kunya, Landobot came in likewise. Didn't have them in the camera, but they did. So all those guys, all those top 4 that I was talking about and praising them so highly, they all have dropped a few positions. Best one of them is still Chris Tam in 5th. But the rest, pole setter, which we are seeing here, Royal Harvey in 11th. Would You Rather last. Okay, well, just 1/3 of the race is done. No, it's just 1/4 actually. So still a lot of racing left, and our leader is now the scientist who started on this set of hearts. And yeah, he did not have to come in yet, of course. He can run very long on this heart, so it's all fine for him. He will run as long as possible on this hearts, and then decide whether it was long enough to try on softs or play it safe and finish the race on mediums. And here is the 2nd safety car phase I was talking about earlier. So this is the 2nd possibility to conserve your tires a bit. So the field is more or less close to each other. That means safety car should be in after this lap. And then we'll see if how big the disadvantage for scientists on his hearts will be against all these guys behind him running on still quite acceptable mediums. 5 laps on mediums, it's not too much. Scientist seems to be taking some gap to the safety car already here. Now just a moment to give Bernd Mailänder a bit of cushion and then warm up the tires again on the long straight. Yeah, and with so many laps of safety car, we should have some loaded ERS batteries and a lot of extra laps of fuel, so everyone should be able to really unload the ERS battery in the next 2 or 3 laps completely and to run on rich engine mode for quite some time. Just as expected, safety car will be in this lap. And now, in the last sector, the scientist is leading the field and giving the pace. And as we've seen it already before, by Royal Dhabi, to some time he will pick up the pace. He's running a little bit faster in the last sector than Harvey did. And now he slowed down. He has slowed down. Now he's a little bit slower. We actually have just one penalty right now being still unserved. It's Castor France. Let's have a short look. Just a +3 for him. And Scientist has picked up the pace. We are back to green condition once again, and he was unable to shake off Infamous. Infamous right in his gearbox. And with his mediums he should be able to go faster right here. That has probably been a warning here for Infamous. He will try to stay as close as possible and then maybe attack him already right here in the slipstream. Both should be able to run in rich engine mode. What's going on here? Battle between Ainley and Tom. Slipstream for Mark Ainley. Infamous in front, not able to attack. Wheel to wheel into the chicane. Oh, braking very fast. Very late for Ainley, and therefore he has spun. Oh, Castor France left the door open because he saw that Ainley was coming heavily on him. Too aggressive for Mark Ainley, and in the lead is still Scientist, but there's some action going on. Wheel to wheel, Infamous against Chris Tam. Chris Tam on fresher mediums. Maybe he can go a little bit faster on them and therefore pushed for the second position. And behind him, Castor France and Golden Pickle. A lot of racing action going on. Scientist is not able to crawl away. Oh no, and Infamous has lost it! Infamous is out! Infamous is out! Oi, oi, oi. Safety car! Safety car in lap 10. Hi. Yeah, and now Infamous... Yeah, he was already cemented in 4th position in the overall standings, and now definitely he is, and that maybe saves the lead for Scientist a little bit. Yeah, he was unable to get away from Chris Tam and Golden Pickle after the restart. He was heavily under pressure, and how long will he stay on his hearts? I could imagine that he didn't expect to be in the lead to this time of the race, and yeah, in this special situation he is of course unable to compete with all the other guys. Let's see if he will really stay with his strategy, because the next 2 laps we have safety car, okay, alright, but afterwards he will be under pressure again by Tom and Pickle behind. Yeah, this is just the third time. No, sorry, just the second time which I can remember that I see the third safety car phase in just lap 10. So, an intense workday for Bernd Mailänder. And I have never seen a race with more than 3 safety car phases, so this might be first time for me, but there's always a first time, you know. We have seen pit stops by John Bunter, Bellox, Frenzy, Mark Ainley on Warrior Strategies, Bunter soft, Bellox medium, Frenzy and Mark Ainley on... no, only Frenzy on hards. I suppose that Frenzy will try to run through on this set, likewise to Royal Harvey, who's in P8. Mark Ainley. Ah, no, Mark Ainley just served a drive-through penalty. He speeded under VSC, no, under SC. Not a bad idea to do that right now. He is able to close up to the field, so didn't lose too much. But as he's so far behind, we probably will see another lap of safety car. Yes, lights still flashing on the silver Mercedes ahead. So then we will be at the end of lap 12 and haven't seen more than 3 laps of green condition. Is it possible? So if the safety car will come in at the end of lap 12, we will have the first time DRS activated at the midway mark of the race. how yeah, funny or incredible is that? Yeah, with all the safety car, actually not too much going on that I could tell you, that I could present to you. We see still and again Scientist in the lead after starting on his hards. Maybe this was just the right thing to do on the start. Maybe he knew it already that there would be some safety car action. Scientist. Maybe he is the biggest name to watch for a victory in the last race of the season and his last race of L2S community. That would be a cool thing, actually. A nice goodbye gift for him. Slayer and Official in 5th and 6th. Not a lot going on for them, but how could it be? With all the safety car and yellow condition. Then we see Dean Cunha. Cunha and Official almost look like teammates. Black, green, toxic green livery safety car in this lap, just as expected. And our pole setter is running here in 8th. Maybe, let's see if he can be able to make this set of tires last until the end of the race. So, back to our leader. 3rd restart of this race. We know the procedure already, so he will pace the field until the timing line, and he already picked up the pace here. The 3rd restart, and he is ahead of Chris Tam. No early attack, but he was unable to shake him off. And there is the attack, wheel to wheel into turn 2. watch out guys, and Scientist has lost it! Scientist has lost it. There goes the podium possibilities for Scientist, almost into last position. And the new leader, Chris Tam, ahead of Golden Pickle. They probably touched a little bit, and in these fast turns it is easy to lose your car once you are touched or once you lose your balance. The turns are very difficult to take, especially if there's someone next to you. But Chris Tam didn't want to wait until the long straight. He saw an opening and took it. Now come on, we have a safety car out. What's going on here? What's going on? I have no idea why we see Mark Ainley, who's running in last position. But his car is fine, he's intact. We see... who else? Let's have a look if there is some damage somewhere. Scientist lost his car, but it's intact. Okay, and here's the error code CP7. Did I maybe summon it? Did I maybe jinx it when I said that I hope that we will have a fine session? And we do not. And yeah, well, I'm not quite sure how we will proceed. There will probably be a lot of chatter now in the background. And for the moment I will just leave you here with my view of my team career. And yeah, we will have a lot of chatter now, and I will give you information how we will proceed in just a moment when I know what's going on. So, my dear racing friends, I am watching the race, the stream of Scientist, who we saw just drop back and cause another safety car phase. And sadly, the race is over for me. I dropped out due to the CP7 whatever error. And yeah, but the race is still going on. So sadly, I obviously cannot depict you the rest of the race. I will try and have a look if I can rejoin, but I somehow doubt that. So here we are again. I have seen in the view of scientists that we actually didn't miss a lot. Yeah, genau. Haha, exactly. Here we are back in the safety car phase. Thank God that I was able to rejoin. Well, if we had to drop out, we at least had a little bit of luck that we did it in a good situation. Safety car is in this lap, so we didn't miss anything. Let's have a look at Chris Tam. 4th restart of the race. New record for me. First time that I have broadcasted a race with more than 3 safety car phases. The only thing we maybe missed, as I have a look at the board, is that Scientist has stopped. Scientist got himself fresh mediums, the one who started on hards, and here is restart number 4. Chris Tam will pick up the pace. Now. Haha, some debris in the middle of the way, but I think that his car is still intact. Golden Pickle unable to attack him. He was shaking off Golden Pickle by 6/10. We see John Bunter in 6 on softs. He might have an advantage for a faster tire against the guys around him on mediums. Pickle is fast on the long straight. Golden Pickle faster than Tom on the straight. We see battle between the black greens, and who is it? Dean Cunha has spun. Loses tons of positions there. He's back to racing car. We have a safety car! What is going on? Ah, come on. No, this race is no fun. Last race of the season is an intense mess. Well, I admit, before F1 2020 I have not had Formula 1 online experience. This is the first game that I race online, and offline. F1 2020 is really a monstrously great game. Best F1 race game that has ever existed on this planet. But online, this is really a mess. So I don't have any other words for this game, for the Codemaster servers, but this is really, sorry, but bullshit. And Official has ended his race. I can understand that he drove to the pits and stepped out of his car. He is a champion already anyway, and there is actually no reason for him to stay in this race, to stay in this, in this showcase of just having a little bit of a showing your car behind the safety car. So Official is out. Maybe you will stay with us here in the stream and watch the rest. The still upcoming 55 safety car phases for the rest of the race. While we see who's it? Castro France, who weaved a little bit too much on warming up his tires and lost some end plate of his front wing. He will probably get himself a new one, but this is not a problem, as we have a safety car phase again in next lap or the one after. So if you guys are now chatting in the Discord group under safety car, you can sometimes just go into the pause mode. The CPU will then ride your car, and under safety car is not a problem. Yes, we see Casto France almost losing his car on the pit entry. This is actually the most action that's going on. Most action in this race has always just gone on in the pit lane. He's not the only one to stop. Likewise does Frenzy, Cunha. Those three guys. New black, green, gold front wing for him. Maybe this is something like a Aston Martin livery. So possibly this will be the one we will see as soon as it's March. For Aston Martin Cognizant. Yes, the field is close to each other, so there's actually no reason why to go on the safety car. Maybe, well, let's have a little bet going on, guys. We need to get some reason to, yeah, to stay in here, to have a bit of fun together. So let's have a little bet if we might see at least one lap of DRS in this race. Yes, well, this is safety car phase number 5, and I suppose if there is a safety car phase number 6, I could imagine that our admins will just red flag the race and just leave it, just end the season in this very special way, in this a bit infamous way. Sorry for the pun. So safety car is in this lap, so once again Chris Tam will pace the field in the last sector. And once again, we are back to racing, but I am... Oh no, who got disqualified? I think it was Mark Ainley. Yes, Mark Ainley was disqualified for not taking his drive-through penalty during the amount of laps that he would have to take it. So, and we are in lap 19 and still have not seen one DRS attack. How crazy is that? Sounds like a typical rainy race, but yeah, definitely no rain in Abu Dhabi. That's the only thing that would miss to have a totally crazy season finale. Mark Ainley just messaged in the Discord group that he was disqualifying for not serving his drive-through penalty, but you are not allowed to serve your drive-through under safety car. We have the next one who has checked out. That was... I know it was Kings. He's out already a long time, but just now left the session. So we see Golden Pickle chasing Chris Tam. He has a bit of a gap behind to Slayer. So the front two guys, those two guys, Pickle and Tam, were able to crawl away a bit from the rest. There's a bit of back and forth in the background. There's some action going on. We see Dean Cunha racing here against Casto France. Panther, Castle France, Cunha here in this battle for the last point. And Frenzy 12th. Oh, the scientist is in the pits, so this is probably it for him. With a good result, he opts for a fresh set of softs until the end. And what's going on here? Would you rather crashing into the rear of Moshatit and hurting his nose with that? Landobot overtook Would You Rather and will attack Moshatit here into the chicane. Wheel to wheel. Safe racing, quality racing between those two guys, but this is not over yet. Landobot is the faster one on his fresh softs. What's going on behind? We will see a pit stop from Would You Rather now to get a new nose. Attack here by Landobot, and yes, he got him. DRS is enabled. Woohoo! We will have some DRS action. Yes, finally, finally. And Golden Pickle will be the first one who is granted to open up his rear wing. Would You Rather in the pits for his new nose stop as expected. And the DRS line's coming up, and yes, there it is, the first split rear wing, and he zooms ahead into the rear of Chris Tam. Will he attack him right now? Wow, he touched those two guys, had a little bit of a touch, but front wing seems like still intact for Pickle. Next DRS zone right here. Maybe he should have just waited to attack Tam at the end of the second DRS zone instead of rushing it, but okay. Well, with all the safety cars, maybe we will not even need another pit stop for those two guys. Normally, I doubt that the mediums can take this long time on the track, this long stint. But from these 13 laps we had, I think, 10 on the safety car or so, so these mediums will still be rather fresh, I would like to say. Let's see what our pole setter is doing. Royal Harvey getting away of the still not cleaned debris from I don't know who, still laying on the start finish line. He has some advantage on his softs over Slayer. He doesn't dare to attack. It seems like he could go faster, but here you see how fast he can be. He's crawling into the gearbox of the Slayer, and DRS attack coming up right now. Yes, have a look how he just cruises by him here on the long straight. Ahead, Pickle was not able to attack Tam, but that might come up at the end of this DRS zone. And coming closer, Tam defending. Ooh, they got really close, but no chance for an attack. And behind we see a battle for 5th. That's Landobot on his faster softs. Who's chasing Ballox? We see the 3rd lap without safety car, so I hope that we are beyond this issue. Oh, have a look how much later Landobot can brake against Ballox. He seems like a lot faster than Ballox, running through the tire. Oh, and Castle France is close too. Soft against soft, wheel to wheel into turn 2 and 3. We have seen that in the very early phase of the race, causing, I think, the first safety car. And It seems like Landabot has to rather defend himself instead of attacking Ballox. But Landabot will be DRS equipped too, so no advantage for Castor France, who had not the best acceleration out of the hairpin. And here's the attacker ahead. He just cruises by him. Yellow in sector 2, that's right here. Let's jump ahead for our leaders again. We see... Is that true? Royal Harvey in the lead? Well, I sadly didn't catch that, but okay. I can imagine that Royal Harvey pushed ahead on his fresher tire, faster tire. So no chance for the Pickle and Tom to defend that. And this is very interesting because Royal Harvey, the pole setter, had, how I see it, a totally wasted start of his race. But came back strong in the end and is now leading the race and maybe will be even granted the race win. It seems like Pickle cannot follow him. So back to racing action as we finally have some. Here's Castor France in 7th against Ballox. Again. Oh, and Scientist is out. Scientist is out. Where is his car? We see some yellow. Ah, he's in the pits. He retired in the pits. There he is. Well, yeah. Sadly, bad last race for Scientist. He led the pack for half the race. Scientist has left the session. Scientist has left the community. Farewell to you, and yeah, well, never say never. I hope to see you again sometime, mate. And finally, while we were bidding our goodbye to the Scientist, Castor France finally got past Ballox there. So after a few laps of racing rhythm, the field has stretched a little bit. There's no one in the DRS window of someone around, and as we are in lap 25, that means 4 laps left in this race, 4 laps left in this season. I think / suppose this will just be the end of the season, of the race and the season. Maybe Landabot can close up to Slay a little bit as he's on the faster tire. Maybe Cunha can close up to Moshetit. But I would like to assume that if there is no big mistake by anyone, this probably already is the final result. So let's have a look at the penalty situation for this late stage of the race. We see not a lot of penalties, of course. How could there be with just 5-6 laps under green condition? At least that's how it feels. Castor France with a +12, that's already a big number for 5 safety car phases. So we will probably just finish the race in this situation, in this view. So penalties depicted for you for these last 3 laps. And Landabot was able to crawl up to Slayer. He is in his DRS window, so the last 3 laps we will probably see some attacks maybe from him or John Bunter behind attacking Ballox. We will jump around between those two guys for this very late stage of the race. Landabot was really able to fly ahead, to zoom into Slayer here in the last few laps, and it seems like he's a lot faster here right now. But no attack yet. Here's the second DRS zone. And behind, what's Balog's doing? John Bunter very far on the inside, defending already at the beginning of the straight. And Balog's got him. Balog's got ahead. But this is maybe not over yet. Now, yes, it's over, at least for the moment. John Bunter very close, within 1/10 he was here in these turns. In the head, Landabot is close to the Slayer, but he has this plus 3 seconds and ran into his rear. There we see the debris flying off the end plate or something. Yes, right hand side end plate is missing on his front wing, so that might be already it for his attacking chances against Slayer. Let's see how good his aerodynamics will be. He will probably not pit again, he will just try to go through for this last 1.5 laps. No chance for an attack here in the first zone. And behind, John Bunter is closing up to Balog's again, trying to get back his 7th position. Ooh, cut off his lane, but okay, hard, but okay. And ahead, still Landabot taking an intense view of the half and half rear wing of Slayer. But it seems like he adopted quite well on his damaged front wing, so it looks like it's no big disadvantage for him. And behind, Balog's dropped out of the DRS window from John Bunter. Balog's will be granted the position anyway because of the plus 9 seconds from John Bunter, so he will probably just stay where he is in this last lap. So, last lap of the race, last lap of the season. And this is the final attack maybe from Landabot on Slayer, defending already, but no chance. Have a look how he just cruised by. Very interesting. He was unable to do so in the last few laps, but now he did so easily. And this is the final counter attack from Slayer coming up. The last DRS zone for the season. Slayer does not have a chance. And so we have a look at the formerly pole setter, who was about in every position of this race. First one, last one, in the middle, everywhere. And he was able to crawl up again and fly away from Golden Pickle by over 6 seconds in the end. So the last victory of the season goes to Royal Harvey. Congratulations, Mr. Harvey. Great race from you. Second one, Golden Pickle. Third position, Chris Tam. Fourth, then Slayer, Landabot 5, Cast of France 6. John Bunter is 8th, 7th, Cast of France, Bollocks even up to P6 due to penalties. Morsheted finishes in 9th. Nope, in 10th. Would you rather in 9? Yeah, and that has been our first season of our L2S community. It was a great season, really some monstrously great racing actions. The last videos are still rewatchable on my channel, so if you have a bit of time at the moment, look them up, because there have been really great races, really great online races going on in this L2S community. Even though the last race was, yeah, a bit crippled, a bit bugged, but okay, it is as it is. Season is over. The last portion of champagne for season 1, but there will be more champagne in season 2. So here's the final result after penalties. After 5 safety cars, Royal Harvey has won the race in front of Golden Pickle and Chris Tam. Then Slayer, Landabot in 5, Ballock 6, Castle France 7, John Bunter 8, Would You Rather finishes in 9th. 10th goes to Mojatit, 11 Frenzy, 12 Dean Cunha, and the rest of the pack did not finish. That's Scientist, Mark Ainley, Official, Infamous, Nick Agnola, Aces vs Kings, Chappie, and Ian MC. Yes, and with this we leave from Abu Dhabi. The season is over. Season 1 is in the books. It was a great one, but there is more to come, as mentioned a few times already in these last 1.5, 2 hours. Thanks for being with us in the whole season and today. I hope we will see and hear and read us again just by next week, when we start the short season 2. Yes, and thanks for letting me host this game for you, bringing it to your living room. And have a good evening. Stay safe in these times. And keep racing.